Hi, my name is Michael Coull. I'm Dundead programmer here at DCA, and Dundead is just around the corner. We're a week away from the festival starting, so I just thought I'd take a minute to sit here in Cinema 1, where we'll be for the festival, and tell you a little bit about what you can expect from Dundead 2025. Every year, as part of Dundead, we have previews and premieres of the best new horror films. And this year, the programme contains 2 UK premieres and 4 Scottish premieres. When I say premieres, what that means is that if you come to one of those screenings, you will be the first audience in that territory to see that film. Our opening film this year is a UK premiere. It's the UK premiere of Darkest Miriam. This is a beautiful film by Canadian filmmaker Naomi J. It stars Britt Lower from TV's Severance. And I love this film. I think it wears its genre elements lightly, but I think it's unlike anything else I saw this year. And I'm really thrilled that we're the UK premiere of such a brilliant film. We are screening Somnium. This is a film by a director called Rachel Kane. It's a story about a wannabe actress in LA who, to make ends meet, she gets a job at a Cronenbergian sleep clinic. But there is horror lurking around the corner. There are elements of recent films like The Substance and Maxine in terms of sort of subverting Hollywood. And there's also a little bit, I think, of David Lynch in there somewhere. Our next premiere is the Scottish premiere of The Sanatorium Under the Sign of the Hourglass. This is the new film by the brothers Key. They are legendary UK animators. Nobody really makes animated films quite like them. This is their first film in 19 years, so it's hugely exciting. After that, we have the UK premiere of a French coming-of-age vampire film called For Night Will Come. This is the fiction feature debut by a filmmaker called Céline Rousset, and it's a really beautiful coming-of-age film. I found it really moving, and it's great to be, again, the UK premiere. If you come to see that film, you will be the first audience in the UK to see that on the big screen. And then on the last day, on Sunday, we have 2 Scottish premieres. The first is a Spanish language ghost story called The Wailing. It's really impressive, really confidently done. It's one of those films that I think it is best to know as little as possible going in. Yeah, I think if you know horror and you know Japanese horror, there are elements of that in it, but it's also doing something fresh and interesting. It's a great, really, confidently made film. And then the last of our premieres this year is the Scottish premiere of the Japanese comedy The Geswidos. This is a film about a Japanese punk band who are obsessed with horror. And it works as the sort of last of our premieres this year. Probably the best film that I can think of that really dials into what it means to be a horror fan. And it's also a film where the characters will talk about horror, and if you come to the whole festival, then they refer to some of the filmmakers that we're screening in our retrospective strand, so you will get those jokes by the end of the festival. It's a really charming, funny, moving comedy, and it's a really nice one, I think, for Sunday evening. So along with the premieres, Dundead also always has a retrospective strand, and it's always arranged around a theme. Last year, all of our rep titles were around the theme of slashers. The year before, it was David Cronenberg. This year, it's Italian horror. The first of our retrospective films this year is Deep Red from 1975. This is from filmmaker Dario Argento, probably the most celebrated of the Italian horror filmmakers. It's extremely stylish, and I think it sets the table for what he was about to do next. More on that in a minute. The next of our retrospective films is Zombie Flesh Eaters. This is from director Lucio Fulci, and Fulci earned the nickname the Godfather of Gore This is one of the gloopiest zombie films I think ever made. It also, this film is notable, I think, for including a jaw-dropping sequence where a zombie fights a shark underwater in real time. That's a real shark. The shark was sedated, which is unfortunate, but I think as a pop culture artifact, that scene really needs to be seen to be believed. The next of our retrospective films is Mario Bava's Bay of Blood, and this was made in 1971. It is in many ways a sort of proto-slasher film, but I think it also has a lot more going on. When I think of Bava, I think of sets, I think of tightly controlled direction, I think of colour, of stylization, and with this he's shooting on location. There's a lot of handheld photography. So that's an interesting part of his filmmaking. It's a bit of an underrated film, I think, and especially the music is underrated. All of the Italian horror films in this season have incredible music. Music is such a vital part of the Italian horror style, and the score in Bay of Blood is, yeah, it should be more talked about, I think. Then our Saturday night sort of headline film is Dario Argento's 1977 masterpiece, Suspiria. I think there was nothing else like Suspiria before Suspiria, and I don't think there's ever been anything like Suspiria afterwards. If you haven't seen it before, I would say this is one of the most essential horror films of all time. It's incredible visually. The colors are unbelievable. The score by Goblin is among the best horror and most distinctive horror scores ever. This might be my favourite film of all time. And then on Sunday, we're starting the day with Black Sunday. This is the second film by Mario Bava in our lineup. While a lot of Italian horror are rightly praised for their use of colour, this film from 1960 shows Bava working in black and white, and it shows, I think, the roots of what we come to know as the Italian horror style, and that's a tradition that isn't too dissimilar from the UK's horror tradition. It's black and white. It's a sort of gothic story. It also stars Barbara Steele in probably her most iconic performance. Yeah, it's a great film for a Sunday afternoon. Our last film is 1985's Demons by Lamberto Bava, son of Mario Bava. It's fun, it's trashy, it's very silly, it's a bit cartoony at points, but it's also very gory. And it's also a perfect film, I think, to see in the cinema with an audience. It is set in a cinema. It's kind of a perfect horror movie setup where all these characters get tickets to see a mysterious film in the cinema. And when they're there, some demons emerge, and they all have to fight for their life. In terms of the short films, we're screening 5 short films. The first is a Canadian short film called Bath Bomb, which was designed as a queer giallo film. Giallo is a type of Italian horror film. And I spoke to the director of this film, and he told me what a massive influence Deep Red was on Bath Bomb. So we are pairing Bath Bomb with Deep Red, and we are really happy to say that the director of Bath Bomb, Colin G. Cooper, will be coming all the way from Canada to be here with us for that screening, which is really exciting. Other short films, we have Izzy from the Netherlands. This is a really short, sharp shock of a horror film. It's 5 minutes long. It's great fun. We're screening that with Somnium. Along with Sanatorium Under the Sign of the Hourglass by the Brothers Key, we are screening their 1986 short film, Street of Crocodiles. This is a 20-minute short film, really influential, really strange. Again, it feels like the kind of film that could only really have been made by the Brothers Key. And we're extra lucky with this one because we will be screening it from a 35mm print, which is great. The next one is a short film called Skulk from UK-based filmmaker Max Ward. This is a 7-minute short film. We're screening it with The Wailing on Sunday, and it's really scary. We screened it for staff the other day to give them a taste of what to expect from the festival, and everyone loved it and was terrified by it. And then on the Sunday with Demons, we are screening the UK premiere of a short film called Last to Leave by Mary Elizabeth Ellis. And yeah, this is a great film for the end of the festival. It's called Last to Leave, and it's set at a bar where last orders are called, and then horrific things happen. To introduce Zombie Flesh Eaters and Black Sunday, we are really lucky to be joined by Mike Muncer and Becky Dark from the Evolution of Horror podcast. If you don't know the Evolution of Horror, they do great work. They're one of the leading horror podcasts in the UK, and they look at horror, the history of horror. They look at different subgenres. They do deep dives. They're really insightful, great podcasts, and we're really excited to have Mike and Becky here to introduce some of the films and to be around for the festival. That's everything from me just now, and I hope to see some of you in the cinema. Thanks.